Hi guys, welcome back to another makeup video. Today, as you can see, we're doing this warm, summery, floral makeup look. I really enjoyed creating this. I hope you guys are excited to see how I did it. So if you want to see how I did this, then keep watching. So I'm just starting out by brushing my brows. I think I'm going to keep them pretty natural today, and we're basically just focusing on eyeshadow as the main point. Just like to brush through my brows and make sure they're nice and fluffy. And then I'm just going to take my Morphe concealer to add a base to the eyelid ready for the eyeshadow. So I'm just going to apply this onto the lid and we'll go in and blend in a second. And then I'm just going to take a dense brush and blend that into my eyelid. And then as I get closer to my brow, because I haven't carved it out or filled it in, I'm just going to get the majority of the product off onto the lid and then slowly blend it up into the brow so that we don't just have a random different colour of skin underneath it. Making sure that's all blended in even to the skin, because I'm not gonna do a full face today. I'm thinking of more of a focused eyeshadow and a little bit of bronzing and blushing on the face, and then lips of course. So I'm just going to start out by taking my Beauty Bay Matte Bright palette, and we're going to get in with some of these orangey shades, probably a mix between this one and this one here. And basically I'm going to start out by doing a sort of blush onto my eye and down onto my cheek as well. So I'm going to start on my outer eye as if we're doing eyeshadow, and then once I've got a lot of that product off onto the eye, just slowly blend it down onto the cheek. And then to go in a bit deeper with the eyeshadow, I'm going to go in with that darker Heatwave shade that I showed you a second ago. I'm just going to take this on a bit of a smaller brush to get into that detailing. And I'm just going to bring it in along the lash line to begin with. And then into the crease slightly. So I just actually turned off my other ring light because I feel like it was making the picture worse, like too much light from all different angles. So we're back to normal light. We're back to normal lighting now, guys. But I'm just going to go back to that bright matte palette. And I'm going to take the shade Sweet Tooth. It's very pale pink, and I just think we could do with a tiny bit of pink in there with the orange of the lid here, and blend that into the orange, almost like a liner. And now I'm just going to take this little neon palette because we have got some lovely little neon orange shades. Now I'm going to take a tiny bit of these just to give the makeup a bit more of a brightness, and hopefully put that in over my eye without it going absolutely everywhere, and give it a little blend out. Now, for the little flower illustration, I've taken this little orange graphic liner and I've mixed it with a white face paint to get this shade of orange so that we're not matching the eyeshadow. And I'm just going to start by drawing the first bit of the flower. So this is going to be the piece of the stem that sticks out of the eye. I'm just going to do so I just went off camera and created this little petal because I'm not going to lie, kind of had to copy it from reference, but I'll show you how I did it on the other petals because we're going to create a whole flower here. And I'm going to draw a line from the middle of the flower. I'm going to do the same the other side to create a full petal. And then I'm going to create this little wiggly shape at the top, like a frilly petal. Take a shot every time I say the word petal. And then we bring it to the middle and almost create a little slit. And then to top that off, I'm just going to take the original shade of orange and hopefully it's a tiny bit darker. I'm just going to add in a few dots as well. And then I'm just going to take my concealer in the inners of my eyes, the inner corner of my under eye, and I'm going to do a tiny bit on the centre of my face because we're not really doing a full face. But I'm just going to use a little brush to do the bits on my face. And then recently I've been liking doing my under eye with my fingers, especially for a more natural makeup look. It's just way easier to get in there than a brush, and normally I do like a beauty blender, but the advantage of not having any other makeup on is that I can go in with my fingers and it's just easier because it's already there. And I know a lot of people do their makeup with just their fingers. Maybe I should do that. Maybe that should be my next video. So I'm just going to set that in a corner with powder because we don't want it to crease. I'm also going to take a tiny bit of this orange glitter from that Neons palette, and I'm just going to take it on my finger and do a little spread of this just on the top of the lid. And I will probably never get this off. That's the only problem with this product. It just, no matter how much you wipe it, in the end you end up with glitter somewhere else on your face. And then because we're not really doing much skin, I'm just going to take my bronzing drops and do a little bit of bronzer around the edges of my face. I'm just going to apply this where I would normally, tiny bit on the end of my nose. And then just blending that around the tip of my nose, up the sides. And then I'm just going to add a tiny bit of this Revolution highlighter, give it a bit of a shine and a nice bit under my brow too. And then I'm actually just going to take my e.l.f. liner pen. I'm going to do a bit of a cat eye liner on the top. But I don't want to create a big harsh black line, I just mostly want the little cat eye. And then I'm just going to do a bit of under eye liner. And then now that I've done that, I'm just going to take my black Max Tack mascara. I'm going to add a bit of black mascara to the top lashes definitely, but we'll see about the bottom ones. And then I'm just taking my MAC lip liner in the shade Soar, and I'm just lining my lips ready for a clear lip gloss. Also guys, I got a sharpener for my lip liners finally. I didn't buy it, I just found another one in the house, so I have one now. I'm going to take this Revolution Glitter Shimmer Bomb glittery lip gloss because I just think this would look so cool with the slurk. And also I love how chunky they are. I'm just gonna apply that all over my lips. And that is the finished makeup look. I really love how this turned out, so I'll go and record a few clips for you to insert here, and I will see you back for the outro. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I really hope you enjoyed this little summary experimental floral makeup look. I know we didn't do much skin, but I think that's perfectly fine for the theme of the makeup. And I think it looks lovely and beachy. And to be honest, if you were feeling a little more creative with your makeup, you could actually genuinely wear this out to a beach party, or I don't know, just anywhere where you're feeling a bit more adventurous during summer. And yeah, I'm really pleased with how this turned out. If you want to see more content, please don't forget to check out all my social medias, all linked in the description box below. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment if you feel like it. And I will see you guys back here next week for another makeup video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.